We like to go through the day and stuff like that and think nothing of it, and think that sometimes nobody cares, and nobody gives a toss and stuff. But you get them little things, like it could be a text message from an old mate. Hey mate, do you want to fancy grabbing going to watch the football match at the pub tonight for a beer, or do you want to go for a coffee, or maybe even just for a walk, or do you need a chat? I'm free whenever. It's them little things that matter most to me. Someone just texting me out of the blue, Dan, you okay? Yeah, cool, no problem. It brightens my entire day because there's someone out there besides obviously whoever you live with is obviously thinking about you. And yeah, so if you can, just pop it in the chat where you've had one of them little things that really brightens your day, whether it be from your husband, your wife, your partner, whatever, or just a mate, or a family friend, or something like that, work colleague. That done something so small, but it's had a massive impact on your day. I think it's something that should be should be revered, should be treasured, really, because we don't do it enough. I think in society, I think most of us, if we have to be brutally honest with ourselves, we've all got a little bit selfish as we've got older. My happiness, I don't need to worry about anybody else. Fair enough. I think we all have them days, even me. Sometimes I just want to make sure I'm okay, and I'll be honest. But some days some days I want to check in on my friend. Most days I want to check in on my friends. Like where I work, I'm a very much a people person. I'm customer facing. I see a lot of people every day. I ask everybody, if whoever comes to come to where I'm working, I always ask them if they're doing okay. They don't have to speak about it. They can just say, yeah, I'm fine. But at least that I know in my own mind and my own heart that I've asked, that I've been that nice person. It might be the only conversation, or it might be even the only thing that someone's been told that day or asked that day. It might be the first time or the last time that they've been asked. So yeah, don't be afraid of doing it. Do it all the time. You don't know what people are trying to mask, and sometimes you might even make friends out of it. I made a lot of friends just by asking if you're okay, and I've heard some stories just by that one question. Some stories that I didn't want to hear, but I'm glad I listened. So yeah, if you have got one of them sort of moments where something's just dropped and you think, you know what, thanks for that. That's really helped today. I've really needed that. You don't have to say it to them, but in your own mind you're saying that's, oh, thanks one, nice one that. So yeah, if you've got any stories like that, or any things like that, drop it in the chat, and we could possibly share them about, and we can spread a bit of positivity in this in this space. Oops. So yeah, what are we doing now? So why do the little things matter, really? Why do they matter? They're only, small gestures. Why should they matter? Because they usually have the biggest impact on a person, on a day, on a moment. Small gestures can create connections. Like I said, I ask everybody who comes to my desk at work, are you okay? How are you doing today? And the amount of people I've connected with just for that one question, I couldn't count. Hundreds of people I've connected with just in my workplace, just for asking that simple question. And it's something I think we should all do a bit more of, regardless of your workplace and stuff. Like, check on your workmates, check on your colleagues. Some of them are going through stuff we don't even recognise, or we don't even want to know. But as long as they know that you're kind of interested and you kind of care, they might open up to you and say, you know what, I do need to speak to someone. Have you got a minute? Or a quiet time? Or can we sort something out outside of work? I don't want to speak about it. It happens. I've had the conversations. Now, also, these little things matters. It reminds us that we're being seen, that we're out there in the world. They obviously break isolation. Obviously, my brother and his partner, obviously after airing their ordeal, they did isolate themselves a bit, and rightfully so. They just wanted to, deal with that trauma as much as they can. But it didn't stop me texting them, even if they didn't text back. And a lot of times it took a while for it. It wasn't an instant reply, but I didn't mind, because I knew They've seen that text message. Okay, Danny's asking, that's fine. We're just not ready to answer yet. And that was also fine. I didn't pressure them, not once. And that's another good thing. Just let people know that you're there if they need you. It's not about pressuring until they start speaking. Let them come to you on their own time. Just make sure that you know that you're out there, just as an ear if you need them. These little things also, I think they're often a first step towards a healing process. Like you, friends, family, whatever. Just offering, texting that one person, do you fancy grabbing a drink or something like that? They might be needing that. You might not have seen them for a while. They could have gone through a million different things and a lot of things going on in their life where they've got nobody to speak to. Like everybody in their little inner circle has taken sides and think, oh, I can't speak to them and I can't speak to them. But so-and-so's just text me, you know what? Maybe I can speak to them. They're neutral. They haven't taken a side. They're impartial. Let's try it there. And it becomes it might be healing your own self, and you might even gain, a stronger friendship out of it as well, or a stronger connection with that person, whether it be a family member, friend, whatever. And also, probably the biggest step to why the little things matter. It shows you that how we show love without needing grand gestures. Like I said, you don't need 2 weeks in the Maldives to feel loved. Be nice, but it don't happen every day. But someone, like I said earlier, just showing up, making a cup of tea for you without being asked, or even just giving you a hug when you're coming from work because they've missed you, or because you look like you need one. Everybody needs a hug now and again, even if you're a person who don't like hugs. I'm more of a hug person now than I ever been. I didn't like to, but sometimes that's what you need. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It doesn't have to cost a lot. We can all give a hug, or we can all make a cup of tea, or a cup of coffee if you're that way inclined. Tea's obviously superior, but that's my opinion. Let's look at it a humorous way. Look, if someone bought you a Ferrari, great, awesome, no problem, looks great in the driveway. But if someone remembers how you take your tea, that's soulmate behaviour. If someone didn't even have to ask how you take your cup of tea or your cup of coffee and just make it how you like it perfectly without being asked, if they're not your partner or your wife or your husband, you better bloody make them that, because that's some good behaviour. Is that soulmate behaviour? So yeah, don't pass up these little invitations, these text messages. It's probably good for the soul that you answer them, and probably do it. If they say come for a beer, go for a beer. Want to meet up for a coffee? Go meet for a coffee. You want a bit of fresh air, a friendly face, it'll do your power good. I have no doubt as a power good. So anybody else have had one of them recently? A small gesture that's lit up the day, or they've been, you're feeling a little bit down and a little bit isolated in with yourself, and you've received that text message or phone call that brought you out of it. Share it in the chat. We need to share some more stories about this. I think we all do it to ourselves. I think we're in a bad time. You think you're going to be a burden to someone by sharing your problem. They wouldn't be asking if you were a burden. If they're asking if you're okay, you're not a burden. They're actually interested in your well-being. Don't look at it that way. Or no one's being nosy. If you know someone who's a guaranteed drama queen, I was just going to speak about it and put it around the group chat and all that sort of stuff. No, definitely not. You don't need that. You don't need one text message turning into 20 from people you've never even met. So yeah, try keep it amongst yourself, and try keep it between the people that you actually trust to share the information with, or trust enough to talk to. I think that's a good part of healing, is if you need to talk to someone that you feel comfortable talking to. Don't share all this sort of stuff in a group chat. I think that's self-explanatory. Just don't do it. So yeah. So has anybody got any stories today they'd like to share about, whether it's a thing, an event like Ruben, child loss, that sort of thing. I'm not a bereavement counsellor or anything like that, but I think the whole community thing of stuff like sharing your story can also help someone else. Could help someone else, or you realise that you're not the only person this happened to. It was a great quote. I think by one of the books I've recently listened to. It's Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, the actor. Fantastic book, hilarious in parts. I've probably listened to it about 6 times. It's so profound, some of it. And one of the quotes that came out of that was, sometimes we don't need advice. Sometimes we just need to know that we're not the only one. And I think that was so profound. I've actually got I've got that in a post-it note in my wallet, because sometimes it's a little bit of perspective. You're not the only one this has happened to. You're not the only one it's happening to. There's other people out there. You just got to find them. Whether it's good things or bad things, people are out there going through the same things that we are. So I think it's one of them that you've got to. I know it only feels like it's the worst thing to happen to you. Yes, has it happened to other people? Yeah, it's a damn certainty. Probably the same things happen to someone else somewhere, and it might be even closer than you think. They've just not told you. So let's go through a few little practical tips and real talk, shall we? So here's some of these little things you can do this week that might genuinely help someone. So if you've got a pen and paper, or you can hear me, write it down, jot it down, or just rewatch the video again. It's great for the views. So send a thinking of you message. So if you know someone who's having a particularly rough time at the minute, just send them that one message, thinking of you, buddy, thinking of you, whatever you want to put, thinking of you. That's it. Just send it to someone. One person, 10 people, 100 people. If you know someone who's going through a rough time, just let them know that you're there, thinking of you. You need anything, let me know. Cool. No problem. It's a small text message that has a big impact, that they know that someone's listening and someone cares. Another big one, compliment someone's effort, not just their outcome. You see someone working hard, you're not looking for, it might not be just working as a job, but working to get themselves better, working to get themselves back into the world and stuff like that. Praise them on it. If it's someone, let's just say for the sake of argument, they're on a weight loss journey, something like that. They've dropped a little bit of weight and stuff like that. You don't want to see them looking like, of course you want to see them healthy and stuff, and doing maybe even bloody, but Mr. Universe competitions later, but compliment them now while they're on the grind. You won't believe how much extra that gives them. It's so empowering to people just to compliment someone's effort, not just the result and not the outcome. One I personally like doing myself is check on a friend that's gone quiet. If you've got a person in your friend group that's usually life of the party, bouncy, happy all the time and stuff like that, and suddenly they've gone radio silent, check on them. Check on them daily. They're the sort of people that will just close up when something bad's happened. It's more noticeable that way, but check on people who've gone quiet in your life, just to make sure that they're still there, and just so they can know that you're still there if they need you. Sharing a memory with someone, whether it's your best friend, your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, whatever it is like that, share a memory with someone. Send them the picture. Do you remember this? Or, embarrassing bar photos from the 90s or something like that, or at a festival or something like that, or when you're in, not so great fancy dress or something like that. Make a bit of a share a memory and make sure that you can both have a laugh about it, whether it be a laugh or it might be a sentimental memory, or pictures from your wedding day or something like that. Something like that can really help someone's day. We share memories often, me and my wife, even when before we were married. The stupid little things we used to do, stupid funny pictures we used to take. I think that some of that makes it feel like, wow, how far have we come, but we still can be like that. I think we should all do it a bit more often. Another one, if you're jotting this down, offer help before they ask. So if you know someone's moving house, going through a tough time, etc. like that, just message them or tell them, look, you need it done, let me know. Done. We're done. I'll do it for you. No problem. No questions asked. Because that'll go a long way. That'll go a hell of a long way. When my brother and his partner were doing the funeral arrangements, before he even asked anything about it, I told him whatever he needed. I'll be there regardless. Actually, on my way to the funeral, actually got a speeding fine and all. I had to go on a speed awareness course. But, price of the day, and I don't regret it at all. Make someone laugh. Now, the healing power of laughter is a massive thing. Not many people pay enough mind to it. But I make it in a little personal mission in life to have one decent belly laugh a day, like a prescription to myself. I've got to laugh hard at least once a day, or else it's not a good day. And it could be the most random thing, find funny videos on YouTube of, dogs being dogs or something like that. Just absolutely how lose yourself in it, please. You'll feel so, to the point where you're laughing so hard that you're not making any noise. And I want to see them videos as well, where you're laughing so hard you're not making any noise. They're funny, and I'll probably be on the floor. Yeah, probably needing a paramedic if I watched a fair few of them. Probably, but yeah, make someone laugh. You won't regret it. You might even do it more often. And then the biggest one: show up. Just show up. 2 words, big meaning, big impact. Just show up for people. You say you're going to be there, be there. Regardless, don't let anything else get in your way. If you made that commitment to them saying, look, I'll be there, then be there. Just show up. And if you're struggling yourself, do one small thing for you. Drink water. Go outside. Got some beautiful weather at the minute for 5 minutes. Go out. Go outside. Just stand in your back garden, your front garden, even on your balcony if you ain't got a garden. Just stand there for 5 minutes. Take a deep breath. Drink some water. Eat something that isn't beige. And celebrate a tiny win. That's the sort of thing that you want to do. It doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, it can have a massive impact on your day. And going forward, try and make it part of a routine. Give yourself 5 minutes a day. I think you earned it. I think you deserve it. Regardless of how the world is and what's going on in your life, you deserve 5 minutes of just peace. Just for you. Now, it's just take a minute to yourself. I think that's probably the way I think we all need to. I know I take a few minutes to myself every day, just to be thankful of what I've got and what I'm yet to achieve, and thankful of who I've got in my life: my brother, my sister, my wife. Absolutely, good friends. Good friends are a big thing. I've got my work. I've got doing this. I've got a few things in my life that I'm happy about. Is there some things that I want to achieve? Yeah, sure. Of course there is. There's a lot more things I want to do. And will it make me happier? Yeah, probably. But I'm happy in general. I'm happier than I've ever been. So, yeah, that's a big win for me. And I'll celebrate that. That's no problem at all. My wife just turned 50 a couple of weeks ago, and we had a nice time out with that, friends and family. It was a great night, and we love it. We loved it. We love doing little things like that. So again, like I said, I've just reflected on myself. Drop one thing in the chat you're grateful for today, even if it's tiny. Even if it's tiny. One thing that you're grateful for, even if you just say, "Well, I'm alive." Bloody be grateful for that. Bloody be grateful for that. As we're all getting into Sunday evening, that sort of stuff. What are we all up to? We're getting the kids ready for school, that sort of thing. We're chilling out. We're getting ready for the football. I know Norway are playing later on, if that's your drift. England a little bit later. I don't know if many of us will be up for that one. Although I do nights, I'm not staying up all night to watch it. I'm not staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch it. So it's really what we're doing. So I think I'm now just going to chill out, with the wife. Probably get a pizza, have a couple of beers, and then and probably watch a movie or something. Probably try get an early night, but I doubt it. Too bloody warm. So yeah. So what else have we got planned for the week? What's going on? Are we going away on holiday? Are we at work? What we're doing for work? You know, stuff like that. How we dealing with the Monday morning blues? If that's the start of your week, I go back tomorrow night as well. So my Monday night, I've got a stretch this week, 5 and 1 off, and then I'm in for 6. So yeah, gonna be a bit of a busy time, but I promise you, I'll be back here next Saturday afternoon, next Saturday evening as well. Absolutely, we'll do another session of this as well. Get your friends, your family, your friend, work colleagues all in. Maybe we could all have a little bit of a bit of a chat and stuff like that. Make it a bit more humorous and stuff. I like to think I approach mental health and stuff like that in my own unique way. Brutally honest, but yet with a little dash of humour in there, because that's my personality. I can be serious, but I've got a massive funny bone, which I like to share with everybody. I've got no problem making people laugh. I think laughter is one of the best medicines you can get, and it's free. You don't even have to see a doctor for it. Just have a laugh, even when you don't feel like, just laugh. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being part of this community. And if you want to stay connected, join the Facebook group, Got Your Back Movement. And if you're new here, please like these videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Got Your Back Movement. Next week, the circle returns, same time, same place. Until then, look out for the little things. They matter, you matter, and as always, we've got your back.